Did you know that more than 50% of women say they don't have as much sex as they'd like, or that 51% have experienced orgasms during exercise? Female sexuality is a universe full of surprises and deep insights that many are still unaware of. Here on the channel, we're going to dive into these intriguing topics, break taboos, and bring to light information that will transform the way you see pleasure, intimacy, and emotional connection. If you want to better understand these mysteries and take your knowledge of relationships and sexuality to the next level, subscribe, leave a like, and share this content. Give us a boost by joining us. This gesture will strengthen our work. Let's explore the complexity of female sexuality together, without prejudice, with respect and curiosity. Sexual and psychological insights * more than 50% of women report not having as much sex as they would like, and sex during menstruation is more common than many might think. 51% of women have experienced orgasms during exercise. When it comes to female sexuality, there are many surprising insights that demystify taboos and offer new perspectives. One statistic that may surprise you is that over 50% of women report not having as much sex as they would like. This shows that female sexual satisfaction is often not fully achieved, whether due to time constraints, emotional connection, or even the prejudices that still surround female sexuality. These women are seeking a deeper and more meaningful connection, which often transcends just the physical act. Another revealing aspect is sex during menstruation, something that is still taboo for many but is more common than you might think. Many women find that sex during this time helps relieve cramps and tension, and they don't feel restricted by their period. This data breaks down prejudices and helps normalize something that, for many, is part of their sexual experience. One more interesting insight is that 51% of women have experienced orgasms during physical exercise. This phenomenon is known as coregasm, and it happens because certain exercises, like sit-ups or weightlifting, activate the pelvic floor muscles and increase blood flow, leading to an unexpected feeling of pleasure. These findings show that the female body is capable of multifaceted experiences and that sexuality is not confined solely to the bedroom. These insights, while intriguing, also open the door for deeper reflections on sexual health and the connection between body and mind. When discussing female pleasure, it's not just about the sexual act itself, but about how women connect with their bodies, emotions, and partners. Understanding these data can lead to more open and respectful dialogues about sexuality, helping to demystify myths and promote a healthier, more satisfying sex life. Ultimately, these numbers are not just statistics. They reflect the real experiences of women who often struggle against standards and expectations that do not align with their true needs. By bringing this information to light, we can start building a broader and more inclusive understanding of female sexuality. Orgasm variability * many women can reach orgasm through breast stimulation alone, and 37% use vibrators with their partners. Women over 40 are more likely to experience multiple orgasms compared to those in their 20s. Female sexuality is a complex, fascinating universe filled with nuances that aren't always widely discussed. When we talk about orgasm variability, we uncover a wealth of experiences that show how the female body responds in surprising and diverse ways. One example is the fact that many women can achieve orgasm solely through breast stimulation. This highlights how sensitive and powerful female pleasure can be, extending beyond genital stimulation. For some women, the breasts are such an intense erogenous zone that they rival any other part of the body, showing that pleasure is deeply personal and doesn't follow a fixed rule. Another interesting statistic is that 37% of women report using vibrators with their partners, reflecting a positive shift in the dialogue around shared pleasure. In the past, sex toys were often considered taboo, viewed with suspicion or embarrassment. Today, that perception is changing, and vibrators are seen as tools to enhance pleasure, which can be incorporated into partnered sex in a healthy and enjoyable way. This represents progress in intimate communication, as couples are increasingly exploring new ways to experience mutual pleasure and satisfaction. For women, orgasm is not a linear experience, and each stage of life brings new discoveries and sensations. Studies indicate that women over 40 are more likely to experience multiple orgasms compared to women in their 20s. This may seem counterintuitive to some, as youth is often associated with the peak of sexuality. However, this statistic reveals something significant. As women mature, many become more comfortable with their bodies, more aware of their desires, and better able to communicate those needs to their partners. Confidence, experience, and self-awareness contribute to fuller and more intense pleasure. These insights highlight a key point about female sexuality. It's not static. Pleasure changes, evolves, and expands throughout life as women deepen their connection with their bodies and their partners. Understanding this orgasm variability is crucial for breaking the myths and stigmas that still surround female pleasure, encouraging a more open and honest dialogue about what truly matters in intimacy. Acknowledging that female pleasure isn't limited to a single form of stimulation or one stage of life is liberating. Sexuality is a continuous journey of self-discovery where every experience matters and every detail can make a difference. Orgasm, in all its forms and variations, is just one of the many manifestations of pleasure, which is unique to each woman. The more open the dialogue around this, the more fulfilling the experience will be for everyone involved. Testosterone and desire * women with higher testosterone levels may prefer masturbation over sex with a partner. New mothers often feel ready for intimacy before the recommended 6-week waiting period. The relationship between hormones and sexual desire is a fascinating topic, often surrounded by myths and misunderstandings. When it comes to testosterone, many people immediately think of men, but what few know is that this hormone also plays a significant role in women's sexual lives. Women with higher testosterone levels, for instance, tend to have a higher sex drive and, in many cases, may prefer masturbation to sex with a partner. This doesn't mean they don't value intimacy, but at certain points in their lives, self-exploration and individual pleasure can feel more satisfying or even more practical. Masturbation, aside from being a source of pleasure, is a way to explore one's own body, to understand preferences and limits, which can benefit intimate moments with a partner. For these women, sexual autonomy and the freedom to explore their desires independently can be more appealing than the emotional and physical demands of a sexual relationship with someone else. And this is absolutely normal. Sexuality is unique to each individual, and what brings satisfaction to one person can vary depending on their life stage or even hormonal fluctuations. This aspect is also reflected in the lives of many new mothers. After giving birth, a woman's body goes through a series of transformations, not just physical but also emotional and hormonal. Society often expects that after childbirth, a woman will wait the traditional 6 weeks before resuming sexual activity with her partner. However, many new mothers report feeling ready for intimacy well before this time. This can be influenced by a combination of factors, from quicker physical recovery to the desire to reconnect with a partner, or in some cases, the influence of hormones. It's interesting to note that during the postpartum period, a woman's hormone levels can fluctuate significantly, which can either increase or decrease sexual desire. For some, the drop in estrogen and the rise in prolactin, the hormone responsible for milk production, can lead to a decrease in libido. For others, however, desire returns sooner, especially if there is a strong emotional bond with their partner or if physical recovery has been smooth. In this context, testosterone can also play a role, with some women seeking individual moments of pleasure, while others may long for physical reconnection with their partner. What's important is to understand that there is no right or wrong when it comes to sexual desire and intimacy, especially after major hormonal changes like those in the postpartum period. The key is open communication between partners, respecting each other's timing and desire. The fact that a woman may wish to resume sexual activity before the recommended 6-week period is not uncommon and, in fact, can be a sign that her body is adjusting well to this new phase. Respecting the body's rhythm, whether by preferring masturbation or resuming sex with a partner, is essential to a woman's emotional and sexual health. Each phase of life brings hormonal and emotional changes that impact desire in different ways. Accepting these variations and understanding that they are part of a natural process is the first step to living a full and healthy sexuality, free from judgment or external pressures. Both masturbation and intimacy with a partner can be sources of satisfaction and well-being. The most important thing is that a woman feels in control of her choices and that these decisions are guided by her own pleasure and comfort, not by societal expectations or imposed rules. Communication in relationships * effective verbal and nonverbal communication builds emotional connections, with words playing a key role in creating lasting bonds beyond physical attraction. Communication is the foundation of any healthy and lasting relationship, yet we often underestimate its power to create deep emotional connections. More than just the exchange of words, effective communication, both verbal and nonverbal, is what truly builds the groundwork for a solid partnership. It is through honest conversations, subtle gestures, and shared glances that intimacy is strengthened, and the relationship gains a dimension that goes beyond physical attraction. In the early stages of a relationship, chemistry and physical attraction may be predominant, but what truly sustains a lasting connection is the ability to communicate openly and sincerely. Words have the power to build bridges or raise walls. When we use communication consciously, expressing our feelings, needs, and expectations, we create a safe space for the other person to open up as well. This genuine exchange is what turns simple conversations into moments of deep emotional connection. But communication goes beyond what we say. Body language, gestures, tone of voice, and even silence play a crucial role in how we connect with our partners. A touch on the arm, a sincere smile, or a tight hug can say far more than words ever could. These small nonverbal gestures often express care, support, and understanding in a way that transcends any phrase. And it is this combination of verbal and nonverbal communication that creates a strong foundation for any relationship. It's important to remember that effective communication is not just about speaking but also about listening. Being present in the moment, paying attention to what the other person is saying, not just with words but also with their expressions and actions, shows respect and empathy. When we truly listen, without judgment or anticipating responses, we create a space where the other person feels seen and valued. This exchange of vulnerability and understanding is what keeps emotional bonds strong. As time passes, the challenges and pressures of life can wear down communication in a relationship. However, couples who prioritize open and honest dialogue, who make a point of validating each other's feelings, are the ones who succeed in building a lasting relationship. It's not about avoiding conflict, but rather about knowing how to approach it in a respectful and constructive way. The true strength of effective communication lies in the ability to resolve misunderstandings without losing sight of the love and respect that bind the couple. In the end, communication in a relationship is like a dance, where both partners need to be in sync for everything to flow harmoniously. Words can calm, inspire, heal, and, above all, bring people closer together. When we use communication to nurture the emotional connection with our partner, we create a relationship that goes far beyond the physical. It becomes a partnership built on trust, respect, and true love. And it is precisely this solid foundation that allows the relationship not just to survive, but to thrive over the years. Subtle invitations * suggesting shared activities, like spending time together, creates opportunities for deeper connections. It's important to be mindful of body language and consent. Intimate invitations don't always need to be obvious or loaded with explicit intent. Often, the most powerful gestures are subtle, as they naturally create opportunities for the connection between two people to deepen organically. A simple invitation to share an activity, like grabbing a coffee in the afternoon, taking a walk in the park, or even cooking together, can open the door to moments of emotional and possibly physical intimacy. The secret lies in the simplicity and genuine intention to create a space for closeness without pressure or expectations. When someone suggests a shared activity, there's much more at play than just spending time together. These small initiatives serve as a way to discover more about each other, from preferences and interests to communication styles and reactions to everyday situations. These casual interactions offer a chance to strengthen the bond in a lighthearted, unassuming way, allowing the relationship to grow naturally without the need for complex conversations or explicit declarations at the start. However, these subtle invitations are only effective when accompanied by heightened sensitivity to body language and the other person's consent. Being aware of nonverbal signals such as looks, gestures, and even tone of voice is crucial to understanding whether the other person is comfortable and receptive to the suggestion. For example, a light smile or relaxed posture can indicate interest, while a change in behavior, such as physically stepping back or avoiding eye contact, may signal that it's time to ease off. Consent doesn't have to be formal or rigid. It can be built over small interactions where each person feels free to express their boundaries and desires. A simple activity invitation can be declined or postponed, and that's okay. The most important thing is that both parties feel comfortable and respected in their choices. Building an intimate connection happens through mutual respect and understanding of what makes the other person feel safe and valued. Moreover, a subtle invitation is also a way to test the waters without anyone feeling pressured. By suggesting a casual activity, you allow the relationship to evolve at a natural pace, giving time for trust to grow. In these shared moments, light conversations can evolve into deeper dialogues, revealing emotions and experiences that might not surface in quick, superficial interactions. These small moments of connection can be the beginning of something more meaningful. The central point is that an intimate invitation doesn't need to be about the activity itself, but rather about the intention to be present with the other person, to create an experience that generates shared memories. If the other person feels comfortable and valued, these interactions can become the foundation for an emotional connection and, eventually, a physical one. However, the success of this process depends directly on attention to detail and the ability to recognize both your own limits and those of the other person. So, the next time you think about making an invitation, focus less on the activity itself and more on the purpose behind it. Suggest something that fosters closeness and camaraderie, pay attention to the signals the other person is sending, and above all, respect each other's limits and timing. True intimacy doesn't rush. It is built, step by step, in shared moments that go far beyond the physical. These subtle invitations can become the seeds of a solid and deep relationship based on respect, emotional connection, and mutual care. And hey, my friend, if you've stayed this long, it's because you liked it, and I'm glad you did. So, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and share the video as a way of showing gratitude and giving support to our channel. Big hug.